Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
We can't serve the public if we ourselves aren't healthy.
The police chief on the challenges of the job and the mental toll it can take, how he believes the department is helping its own.
And unused money that's meant to keep students safe. We're trying to get the word out tonight on how parents and schools can tap into that money.
And sometimes solidarity comes by the slice. How much a local Ukrainian bakery is donating after San Antonio shows its support. But first, it is tonight's top story. After more than a year's worth of table talk, the city and police union negotiators have hammered out a new police contract, which city officials say will make it harder for fired cops to get their jobs back.
It won't be official until both the union's membership and city council members approve it. But now City Hall reporter Garrett Berger takes us through it.
All right, it's been a great year.
At the end of their 33rd sit-down, the negotiating teams from the city and the San Antonio Police Officers Association signed off on the last of their remaining items, each walking away seemingly happy with the deal.
What we have achieved today reflects those priorities in the direction that we got from council last year.
Our members were looking for financial increases, and I believe we got that for them.
The city's biggest priorities revolved around officer discipline. The proposed contract limits how much power an arbitrator has to reinstate fired officers, extends how long the chief has to discipline officers for misconduct, and removes the limits on using prior discipline to justify a new suspension.
I think this tentative agreement rebalances the disciplinary process.
Meanwhile, officers are going to get compensated by way of their paychecks. A lump sum payment at the start, then 15% worth of permanent pay bumps over the next 4.5 years of the contract. The city says it would make SAPD officers the second highest paid in the state after Austin PD.
It met one of our goals of getting to where we needed financially. So that's where I believe we're good at.
City officials say the budget can bear the raises. The deal may be done at the table, but now the teams have to sell it to their sides.
We're expecting the union to be the first to vote on this. They expect that will come by late April. Now, if the membership gives it the go-ahead, the agreement will then head to City Council for the final approval. In the newsroom, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. New tonight, thousands of dollars set aside to help kids facing dangers on their way to and from school safely is sitting untouched. Why? Mostly because communities don't know the money exists. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us how parents and school board leaders can actually get a hold of that money.
February 2020, Ari Suarez was struck by a vehicle while riding her bike to Callison Elementary School on the far west side. One group started a petition. They say fencing along that sidewalk is needed to keep pedestrians safe. It might just be the kind of project an act passed by Houston lawmaker Sylvia R. Garcia in 2017 could help partially pay for.
Sometimes getting from a home to the school may be hazardous. There may be a lot of traffic, busy streets to cross, or it could be a high crime area.
This is specific to families who live within the 2-mile school radius that aren't eligible for school bus pickup. SB 195 gives districts up to 10% additional dollars based on their transportation allotment.
They could use it any way they want it to, as long as it's a high crime area or there's a traffic safety hazard.
For example, it can help provide bus service or fix roads. The bill was named after Josue Flores, an 11-year-old Houston area boy brutally stabbed as he walked home from middle school in 2016. Garcia says she's shocked to hear not one school district in the state of Texas has tapped into the funds.
It's a question of lack of outreach, of the lack of even notifying school district that the dollars are available.
KSAT emailed several of the area's major school districts. Some had no idea about the program.
I mean, our focus has been just communicating to districts and letting them know and reiterating to them that this is available to them. It's out there if they see a need.
The Texas Education Agency says the program is outlined in the School Transportation Allotment Handbook. To apply, a school board must write a formal letter to the Office of the Commissioner identifying in detail the specific hazards of high risk of violence to a student, along with documentation from law enforcement.
Or anything that would put your child at risk or in harm, you should call your school district.
We're at Callison Elementary, just a few blocks away from where that fatal crash happened. The spokesperson for the school district tells us they don't believe that the funds available would apply in this case, although they have not attempted to apply. The sheriff's office tells us the investigation concluded that there was no crime committed. The TEA is really hoping that parents push school districts to tap into those funds to make the roads safer for students. Live in the far west side, Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Patty, thank you. Now to the latest on one of yesterday's big races. Congressman Henry Cuellar will continue to defend his seat for District 28. Immigration attorney Jessica Cisneros was able to grab enough votes to take the race to a runoff. According to tonight's tally, there were a total of 48,586 votes cast in this race. Last night, Cuellar received 23,552 votes, but did not clear that 50% needed. That means he would have needed 742 more votes to avoid this runoff. Cuellar is known for leaning conservative in the Democratic Party. He's also a recognizable name after holding the seat for 17 years. The Texas Tribune's Patrick Svitek, who specializes in politics, says Cisneros has developed her own recognition by going up against Cuellar for a second time and gaining national support. One of her supporters is U.S. Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
So she's becoming quite a known entity. You know, she is technically the insurgent here, but she's got a very sophisticated and serious campaign operation. And then she may be underfunded, but it's a very professionalized operation nonetheless.
This race comes on the heels of an FBI raid on Cuellar's home. The FBI has not revealed details on the investigation, and Cuellar has denied any wrongdoing. The runoff is set for May 24th for the race, and there is also a runoff for the Republican ballot on this race. We're tracking both of those and more online at KSAT.com.
Let's take a look at some of the other big stories tonight. One man able to escape the flames from a house fire, but some of his pets may not have been so lucky. Investigators trying to figure out how all this started. The crews know right now the flames actually began in the garage. It's about all they know. It happened on Milana Drive this morning on the city's northeast side. It's not far from Eisenhower and Loop 410. A man taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. 3 pets are still missing. Crews are trying to update the number of people experiencing homelessness in San Antonio and Bexar County. The city hopes to use the data to plan for programs to help the most vulnerable.
Helps us to figure out what are some good interventions that may help us to really move the needle in the right direction.
The count will also help the South Alamo Regional Alliance for the Homeless and its network of agencies. The count was put on hold last year because of the pandemic. Volunteers spent Election Day speaking with the unsheltered. Findings will be released in late May. And many Christians taking part in Ash Wednesday. People showing up at San Fernando Cathedral to get ashes in the shape of a cross on their forehead. It's a way to mark the beginning of the Lenten season. The ashes used are made from Palm Sunday palms, which are burned and blessed. For those who celebrate, it's a time for fasting and reflecting in the weeks leading up to Easter Sunday. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
We started the day earlier today with temperatures for the most part in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Then by this afternoon, we made it up to 74 for the high temperature. That's locally. 80 in Cotulla, 77 the high in Del Rio. A beautiful day, yes, but we could use some rain. I'm going to talk about our weather pattern, some changes on the way, and if we have any shot at some real rain coming right up.
All right, thank you, Adam. Well, the countdown to Fiesta is underway. We are 29 days away, believe it or not. The Fiesta Commission gave the media a sneak peek at what to expect. The routes for the Battle of Flowers and Fiesta Flambeau parades are changing this year. The routes will start on Main Street by San Antonio College to avoid that construction along Broadway. Fiesta will run from March 31st to April 10th this year. For more information on the events, just visit KSAT.com.
Russia's army advancing in some areas of Ukraine while taking hits in others. The latest on the war in Ukraine coming up.
Plus, a San Antonio cheesecake shop collected donations for Ukraine. The grand total you helped raise coming up.
And after a string of deadly shootings and devastating child abuse cases, San Antonio's police chief sits down with KSAT 12. The toll he says it's taking on officers and technology that might help. It's next on the Night Beat.
We have seen a series of deadly shootings in such a short time here in San Antonio. On top of that, police have also had to respond to several gruesome cases of child abuse that also turned deadly.
Yeah, the news can be hard to face for officers as well. Chief William McManus sat down with the night team's Lee Waldman about how officers are coping and how new technology may just help.
The crimes that shock us, shootings in broad daylight.
You got to protect yourself and just be safe out there. You don't know what people are packing anymore.
Children victimized by horrendous abuse.
This isn't just abuse. This was straight up murder.
It's becoming all too familiar in the city of San Antonio.
That's just a horrific thing that happens, and I don't know that any of us ever get used to that.
An ever-growing reality for officers in his department. In February alone, police made arrests in 3 cases of child abuse that ended in the deaths of Danilo Coles, Mercedes Lozoya, and Benjamin Cervera.
And I know officers who don't want to go to those scenes, prefer not to go to those scenes.
Every officer is different in how they deal with what they experience at work.
Some officers it visibly affects, some officers it doesn't. And I think even the ones that are not apparently affected by it, there's probably something going on there.
It's why there's a focus on resources to help. At all times, 3 psychologists and a peer support team are on hand.
That's comprised of about 43 officers. And anyone in the department can speak to those folks at any time they want.
McManus takes pride in the officer wellness programs, but is adding another element, Vitania.
It measures your brain activity and actually gives you a report on the stresses that you're suffering from.
Then provides a personalized program overseen by a licensed psychologist. 2 Vitanias are in the process of being installed with the hopes of adding a third.
We can't serve the public if we ourselves aren't healthy. And if you're not mentally well, again, how can you serve anyone?
Vitana should be up and running for officers to use soon. Supervisors on the force are also trained to keep an eye out. If they see someone struggling, they can have an officer complete a fitness of duty physical. It can either be physical or psychological. At Public Safety Headquarters, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. Now to the war in Ukraine. In just hours, members of the Russian delegation will return to Belarus for a fresh round of talks with Ukrainian diplomats. Russian fighters have already reportedly taken down a large Ukrainian city, and a convoy stalled out about 17 miles from Ukraine's capital, just crawling along. Officials with Ukraine's defense say their defense and attacks on advancing Russian militants, coupled with shortages of food and fuel, are within the Russian camp have bogged out that convoy. The U.S. is putting more economic pressure on Vladimir Putin by blocking oil and gas equipment to Russia.
San Antonio showed up in support of Ukraine over the weekend big time. Tonight, the Ukrainian-owned Cheesecake Shop on Broadway in Alamo Heights has tallied up all the funds you helped raise for Ukrainian forces. Leica's owner says the shop raised more than $72,000. About $25,000 came from donations alone. They plan to continue accepting those donations online and at their store. If you want to help, we have details on KSAT.com.
That's San Antonio right there.
Yeah, it really is.
Showing up to support those that need it. All right, let's show you the Robert B. Greene campus of University Hospital near downtown. That's also showing support for Ukraine in the blue and gold colors of that country.
And a nice clear night to be able to see that, too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And I do anticipate some reduced visibilities toward dawn tomorrow as some fog sets in then. But otherwise, tonight, no problem. Just some fog and drizzle and morning dampness. It's going to be a trend for several days here. It's also going to lead to some warmer nights and mornings. Then another cold front hits on Monday, but this isn't going to be a huge, powerful cold front. It's just going to reset temperatures a bit. So let's get right to it, starting with your morning commute tomorrow. And this is the futurecast for visibility. No problems out there tonight. It's first thing in the morning. We're talking a little before sunrise and then a few hours thereafter when the fog should settle in. We'll have some reduced visibilities, and then it should quickly burn off by about 9, 10 a.m., and we'll be off to a lot of sunshine the rest of the day. But it's going to become a trend every day where we're going to have that, and I think it's just going to get thicker starting on Friday and on into the weekend as well. 63 right now, dew point of 44. Not overly humid out there. I mean, you don't even feel the mugginess, but it doesn't matter because the air temperature is going to drop down and meet that dew point later on tonight. And that means the air is saturated and will lead to the areas of fog. And we're only going to increase the humidity as we get into Friday and the weekend. And you'll really notice the mugginess, particularly on Sunday. And with that added humidity in the air, it's just going to need some damp mornings. No good real moisture or anything beneficial, just to reduce visibility and some damp roadways every morning, particularly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, let's talk temperatures. Right now across the state, 50s, some 60s as well. Lubbock right now at 54, 52 in Austin, Laredo at 68 degrees, and 62 in Hondo. By tomorrow morning, upper 40s, which is average for this time of year. And then by the afternoon, we get back well into the 70s. About 76 in Hondo, New Braunfels 75, a little closer to 80 as you get near the Rio Grande. Actually, this weekend, even in San Antonio, probably near 80 or even in the lower 80s. We're thinking 82 on Sunday. Then the next cold front hits on Monday, dropping temperatures a bit, basically resetting them as we get into next week. So Monday back to 70, and then Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, a little bit cooler, back down in the lower 60s, which will bring us back below average from our above average readings this weekend. A little bit of cloud cover moved overhead today, especially this evening. That's mostly off to the north of us. It's just some upper level moisture that's being thrown our way. Not a big deal. Weak little disturbance over Lubbock, not really stirring anything up. And we have been watching this dip in the upper level flow over the Pacific that's been throwing moisture and energy onshore into Washington, Oregon, now even parts of Northern California. And you need those dips, those troughs in the upper level flow to really help generate lift and energy to produce some showers and beneficial rain. But you notice the trend here going forward with our upper level pattern. Those disturbances are generally going to be staying to the north of us. We need these to dig down into northern Mexico to get into a promising position to give us good energy and rain-making energy, but they're just going to stay to the north of us. So unfortunately, our rain chances are still pretty slim. Some dampness in the mornings, but that doesn't add up to anything. Fog tomorrow morning at 48, then 75 by the afternoon. And you look ahead, we'll be back into the lower 80s this weekend with morning temperatures in the 60s then. Rain chances only about 20 to 30% Sunday into Monday, with that little bit of a temperature correction, if you will, by early next week.
Yeah, you wish we could bump up those rain chances, but we'll take what we can get.
Absolutely. All right, a Spur teaming up with a San Antonio corporate giant.
Yes.
And to give you a hint, it goes do, 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 do.
Well, we've all seen the planes in the sky, the giant C-5s.
Yes.
Well, today, Kelton Johnson got an up-close and personal look at those huge cargo planes, and in a moment, we will tell you why and why one Spur has eye on Ukraine.
Talk about refs or anything without getting fined, so I have no interest in talking about that.
It didn't help. DeJounte Murray still gets fined $20,000 today by the NBA after he was ejected for throwing the ball at the ref's legs, and the Spurs 118-105 lost to the Grizzlies in Memphis. Finishing their rodeo road trip at 4-4, the Spurs have returned home and, in fact, hit the practice court today to get ready for their final 20 games of the regular season. That starts tomorrow against the Sacramento Kings as the Spurs return to the AT&T Center. The Kings are 2 games behind the Spurs, are in the 12th position in the Western Conference. Meantime, the Spurs are 2 games behind the Pelicans, who own the 10th and play in position in the Western Conference. Tomorrow's game is also an opportunity for Spurs head coach Greg Popovich to tie his former boss and mentor, Don Nelson, for the most wins in NBA history.
Obviously, we care about it. You know, he's a great coach, but, I mean, you guys been around him enough to know he doesn't like the praise and all that stuff. So, you know, we're going to keep working hard and try to get better and, you know, get the win for him sooner or later and just get it out the way.
All right, Pop is always telling us there's more to life than just basketball, and no truer words have been spoken as we watch what is unfolding in Ukraine. For Spurs center Jakob Poeltl, who was born in Vienna, Austria, the Russian invasion hits a little closer to home for him.
It is very shocking, and it's very sad. And to be honest, I didn't think I was gonna be in a situation like this, where in my lifetime there'd be a war like this so close to where I'm from.
All right, back to basketball. Here's Sacramento tomorrow at 7:30 in the AT&T Center. Now, before facing the Kings, the Spurs' Keldon Johnson at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland, where today he was named an honorary member of the 43rd Airlift Wing. This was all arranged by USAA ahead of next week's Military Appreciation Night. The Olympic gold medalist received a flight jacket, toured the wing, where he greeted servicemen and women, signing autographs before getting a tour of one of those huge C-5 Galaxies, and then later a flight in the C-5 simulator.
It's so crazy because, I mean, you see them all the time, but now, like, it kind of hit different because I done been in a big airplane and, you know, experienced it and had some fun.
It's our way, really, of giving back to the community and our way to show that we can honor the military community. It brings awareness also to the Air Force, to the NBA crowd as a whole, and also the general public.
It was amazing. I think, I mean, the jacket, the coins, the patches, it was all amazing. I feel like I'll probably wear this jacket probably one more time, and I think I'm gonna put everything in the case just for memories, man.
Awesome. Is Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy looking over his shoulder next?
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys have already revealed that their star quarterback Dak Prescott underwent off-season surgery on his non-throwing shoulder and believe it will not hinder him from participating in the team's off-season programs. That said, what about the speculation that Sean Payton, who resigned as a head coach of the New Orleans Saints, is waiting in the wings to take over if Mike McCarthy should stumble to start the 2022 season? Payton, you may remember, was the Cowboys' former assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach under Bill Parcells from 2003 to 05. He's now being courted by several TV networks about working as an NFL analyst. Mike McCarthy addressed those rumors during the NFL Combine in Indianapolis.
I mean, it's a narrative I don't want to be a part of. I don't think anybody want to be a part of it on either side of the fence. You know, in fairness to Sean, he's being asked the questions, but, you know, nothing good comes out of that. But I think you do need to understand that I get to spend a lot of time with Jerry, you know, both as the owner and as the GM. So in our conversations, you know, when we talk about the partnership between a head coach and a GM, you know, those are the conversations him and I have. So the strength of the partnership, what's in front of us, you know, short-term plan, long-term plan. Obviously, we got some big decisions here to make with our roster, all those things. So, I mean, he addressed it. You know, we laughed about it and moved on.
Meantime, the Houston Texans have bigger fish to fry. General Manager Nick Caserio has some tough decisions to make. First, who will the Texans pick with the number 3 overall draft choice? And what do they do with quarterback Deshaun Watson? Right now, the Texans are asking for 3 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks for the franchise quarterback. But with Watson facing 22 civil lawsuits for women who claim he sexually assaulted them during massages, not to mention possible criminal charges as a grand jury is hearing the case, expected to have a ruling on April the 1st, and the NFL investigation that could lead to a suspension. What do the Texans do with Watson when the league season opens on March 16th?
I would say that situation, you know, we've talked about this with our group. I mean, we're day to day, you know, in terms of handling that. So once the information becomes more relevant or prevalent, then, you know, we'll handle it accordingly. I mean, my philosophy from the beginning has always been to do the right thing by the Houston Texans organization, and we're going to continue to do that here, you know, moving forward.
And if the situation with Watson, who missed all of last season, continues to drag out, there's some speculation that Houston may be forced to just cut Watson. Can you imagine the repercussions on that, getting nothing for a franchise quarterback?
You've got to get something for him.
You have to.
Yeah, they can't cut him.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
Want to get to some breaking news. San Antonio police need your help in finding this young girl. They just released this picture.
Take a look at your screen. Officers say 10-year-old Cassandra Torres was last seen earlier today on Sabina Street, that's west of downtown. She also goes by the nickname Cassie.
Investigators believe she may be with her biological mother, who does not have custodial rights. They also believe she may be in danger. If you know where she is, call the number on your screen, 210-207-7660.
This is a story we will continue to follow both on air and online.
And of course, we'll have the very latest on that search tomorrow morning on Good Morning San Antonio.
Thank you so much for watching the Night Beat.
See you tomorrow.